stuff aside, meeting is now streaming live on YouTube. There we go. Our spotlight speaker today is Blair Kaplan Venables, who is an expert in social media marketing and the president of her own company, Blair Kaplan Communications, a British Columbia-based social media marketing agency. As a pioneer in the industry, she brings more than a decade of experience to her clients. And I'll vouch for that because I remember when she first started and she was doing a BNI circuit back then. And that's how I met Blair. And she was full of enthusiasm and life back then, and she still is now. So more than a decade of experience to her clients, which include global wellness, entertainment, and lifestyle brands. And today looks like she's going to talk about what do you need to include in your social media strategy. So welcome, Blair, over to you.
So thanks, everyone. So most of you know me. Some of you are guests. I've given you a little bit tidbits who I am. High level, I went to school for public relations, and social media marketing wasn't even a thing. I was doing it before it was considered a profession. I was calling it digital communication, social media communications, but it's social media marketing. Going into the new year, I thought that today's presentation would be best to focus on the 10 plus 1, so a bonus, 11 things that you need to include in your social media strategy. This presentation is usually about an hour, and we don't have that kind of time. So it's going to be very high level and very fast, but I have an offer for you at the end. So what do you need in your social media strategy? I would say don't take notes. And then at the very end of the presentation, well, you can take notes if you want, but at the very end of the presentation, I have a list of everything, like of all the key elements. So, and if you get overwhelmed, let me know. We can chat about this after. So first of all, you need to set goals. How do you know what you're trying to achieve if you don't set goals? What are you going to be tracking? What is the goal of social media? What is the purpose behind each post? I think something that people get really stuck on is vanity metrics. Those are metrics that don't necessarily matter or turn into ROI. That would be like if you post a video and you have 10,000 views, but only 20 people click on it. 20,000 views is great, but you want people to click on it because you want people to take an action. So set SMART, so specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely goals. Audit, perform a social media audit, and do a competitors analysis. Who are your 3 to 5 competitors? Where are they on social media? How many followers do they have? What type of content are they posting? How often? Where are they not? Where's the opportunity for you? This is a great way to see what your competitors are doing well, and might even give you ideas on what you can do better and show you where there's opportunity. So if your competitors are all on Instagram and not really on Facebook, maybe there's an opportunity for you there. And it's important to keep going back to your audit and competitors analysis. Figure out, just keep an eye on everyone, keep your friends close and enemies closer. Same type of thing. Platform. Master one platform at a time. If you want to pick only 1 or 2 social media platforms to be on, my recommendation is Facebook and Instagram. Facebook owns Instagram. I have found that it is the cheapest place to purchase ads, and master one social media network at a time. So don't feel like you need to be everywhere. Don't spray and pray. Be specific about where you're going to go. Persona development. How do you know who you're creating copy for? Who is your target audience? Where is your target audience spending time on social media? If you're targeting a 20-year-old, maybe they're not on LinkedIn yet, but they're on TikTok. Should you be on TikTok? If you don't know what TikTok is, we should talk about this after. I recommend creating 3 different personas. You can create these based on an existing customer or your ideal customer, but by creating these personas, you'll be able to create content based on these real or fictional people, because creating something for a 20-year-old male might be different than something for a 75-year-old female. Am I right? I think so. Hashtags. Hashtag is a great way to market your business. It is a way to categorize your posts. They help your posts get discovered within that social media network. I recommend doing a hashtag strategy. Yes, that's right. Do your research on which hashtags you should be using and create lists of hashtags that you can use so you can easily copy and paste them into your posts. You always want to be updating them and changing them because the world of social media changes very fast. Budget. I'm sure you've all heard this before. Social media is pay for play. If you're going to post organically and not spend any money, it's going to be a very slow growth unless you're someone like Lululemon or Gabby Bernstein. So what do I recommend? I recommend having a $40 a month budget for Facebook and Instagram combined, maybe $10 a week. Have I spent any money this month? No, because I'm launching a website. So what am I doing? When I launch my website, I'll be tripling my budget to really promote the downloads of a specific product I'm launching. Social media advertising exists on most platforms. It's expensive on LinkedIn. It's expensive on Twitter. So you don't need to spend money everywhere. My recommendation is $10 a week minimum for a Facebook, Instagram budget. Content strategy, the juicy stuff. What are you putting out when? I recommend coming up with themes. Maybe every Monday is Motivation Monday. Tuesday is Tip Tuesday. Today, or Travel Tuesday. Today is Giving Tuesday. That happens once a year, but really a couple times a year. Build out a system. Build out a system. So, every Monday is Motivation Monday. Create 4 Motivation Monday posts at a time. Batching content will really help you stay efficient. Create those posts at a time, schedule that content in. You can use something like Buffer or Hootsuite or Latergram. There are a lot of free tools out there, and get your content set up and create a consistency amongst the type of content you're pumping out and when you're doing it. Don't be scared of user-generated content. What is that? That's when you like something I posted and you say, hey, Blair, mind if I share that on my network? I love it. And I say, sure. And then you give them credit, ask permission, give them credit, unless it's something like a Facebook share or share on Instagram from a post to a story, because that is a sharing tool. But user-generated content is a great way to fill your feed with great content. But how else can you fill your feed with great content? Have a content library. So if you have a strategy, you're going to know what type of content you're going to be creating, right? So if you're starting to work on social media content for January, February, and March, that's winter. I mean, some of you might not be in winter, but most of us, I think, are in winter. Winter themed. You can look at the holidays, Valentine's Day, etc. You might know the exact type of things you want to promote in your industry, in the world, in your community, in your industry. You know what type of content you need. So start resourcing that content. Perhaps you work with a photographer and you get X amount of photos. You find some stock photos, you lay out your plan, and now you have this library of content that you can use. So when it comes time to creating the words to go along with your visuals, you're dialed. Repurposing. You can create one piece of content and repurpose it and use it almost anywhere. If you make a video to Instagram, you can put it on IGTV, TikTok, Snapchat, LinkedIn, Twitter. Perhaps you make a post that's a photo on Instagram. You can probably use it on Facebook and Twitter. I don't think there's anything wrong with using the same content on multiple platforms. I don't think it should be posted at the same time all the time. I post one piece of content on multiple platforms, but I share a lot of other content uniquely to each platform. It depends on what your strategy is, but repurposing content is allowed. So a content curation list. Create a list of whose content you're going to share from. I'm up in Whistler and Pemberton. Perhaps I'm going to share from Whistler businesses, Whistler FM, the newspaper, other influencers, Whistler Blackcomb. Who do I want to share content from that is in sync with my brand, my aesthetics, and my business? Always get permission and always give them credit. User-generated content is king. Engagement strategy. Have a plan for engaging. You want to make sure that you make a post and then you engage. Don't just post it and forget it. That's not cool, guys. The social media algorithm won't favor you. You want more people to see your post. A way to do that is make a post and then spend minimum 10 minutes on the social media network you just posted on, following new people, commenting, liking posts, saving posts, engaging, being a real person behind the brand. And, 10 minutes goes by really fast. I engage throughout the day, especially when my husband makes me watch Ice Road Truckers or that Home and Garden Network. I do a lot of engaging while I watch TV for our shows. There's lots of time for engagement in the day, but specifically make time for around when you make a post, because that will positively impact the algorithm in your favor. So a recap, this is where you might want to take a little screenshot. 11 things that need to be in your strategy. Goals, competitor analysis, platform selection, where are you going to be? Persona development, budget, hashtags, creating themes and batching, content library, repurposing, a content curation list and user-generated content plan, and an engagement strategy. And with that, questions?
So we have a minute left. So
Yes,
I think
love when I-
Damien has a question. Go ahead,
I
Damien.
got a quick question about the about engagement. Were you saying is there any kind of formula to that, or is it just like did you say like around kind of for about 10 minutes before and after you are gonna do a post, or what do you say with that?
The experts all seem to agree that a minimum 10 minutes is ideal, but the social media networks will never let us know.
On both sides of posting? Like before I post and after I post?
Sorry, both sides. I think engaging anytime is always really good. But I don't think there's any sort of, I haven't read anything or heard anything about like if you post 10 minutes before, engage and after. But the thing is, when you engage, people get notifications and they're like, oh, who's Damien? And they want to check you out. So it's always good to have fresh content when you're really ramping up engagement. So I think it's a trial and error thing, and I don't want to steer you in the wrong direction, but there's no such thing as too much engagement, but there is such a thing as spam and too many posts. Right? Don't be a spam monster. Was that last week? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So that's our time. And I thank you. That was a good question. Thanks, Blair. That was really good. And I've got oodles of questions.
Can I just say one more thing? I forgot.
Yes.
It'll be really fast. I'm going to put together an exclusive half day, not mastermind, but workshop to get your 2021 social media plan created. It's going to be like, I'm only doing one. I'm only going to do it half a day. It's going to be limited seats. I'll let you guys, I'll promote it to you guys first. It's going to be pretty affordable. But I just have had a lot of people who want help with their strategies. So I think doing a half day strat plan session and really working with you on execution and creating is going to be really beneficial. So I'll be promoting that this weekend, and I'll drop it in our group. So anyone that's interested, that's part of our group, I'll